Now, with power outages now a daily reality in South Africa and expected to last for the next 3 years, businesses and individuals are taking matters into their own hands. South Africa is experiencing its worst electricity crisis since the year 2008, with state power firm Eskom implementing rolling blackouts as its old creaking grid struggles to meet growing demand. Some huge companies and households have decided to sort themselves out by becoming self-reliant on power supply in a country that's barely raised installed capacity since apartheid ended 2 decades ago, despite millions of households joining the grid. State-run utility Eskom has admitted to ignoring proper maintenance on its grid over the years, and the network cannot reliably supply the 42,000 megawatts required to keep the economy ticking. The central bank has already shaved off at least 3 basis points on its 2015 growth forecast to 2.2%. Now, joining us live via telephone is our South Africa correspondent, Betty Dibia. Betty, thank you so much for speaking with us on Network Africa.
Thank you.
Now, is the blackout as intense as what is being reported?
Well, for a country where almost everything is automated, it's a big deal. It's a huge problem. As you talked about the Reserve Bank shaving off 3 basis points from its 2015 growth forecast. But I guess now you have what the stage 1, stage 2 outages. Most of them are controlled outages. So relatively, it's comparing it to Nigeria. I mean, you can't compare it. It's not as bad as it is. There are some areas that are not as regularly affected as others, but for a country where most things are automated, down to opening your gates, down to opening the doors of your shop, it's a big deal. And then you have a lot of small industries that are affected. They have to provide their own power. Some are already invested in generators. The big ones are invested, like some of the telecom companies. One, at least, has its own power plant now, providing 2 megawatt power plants, and some banks as well. So it's a big deal here, but compared to Nigeria, I guess it's not as bad as it is. Maybe speaking like a Nigerian, but it's a big deal here, and it's affecting a lot of things.
Now, the state-run utility Eskom has admitted to neglecting or ignoring proper maintenance of its grid. My question now to you is, why the neglect?
I really don't. Many people have blamed many things, but probably you blame a lot on bureaucracy. Remember, as far back as 1998, when then Minister Madjuna released a white paper predicting the shortage by 2007 if new power plants or power stations were not built. But at that time, the then President Thabo Mbeki wanted to privatize Eskom. So he expected if it was privatized, the private sector will handle the capital-intensive projects like building more or power stations. But we know how President Mbeki, a few months later, he was out of office. You know, we all know the story. And the bureau, and there's some already commissions that are still delayed, and the issue as well of age infrastructure, lack of maintenance, insufficient tariffs, and all that. There's so many factors. Even the president added apartheid because at that time, of course, he came under fire for that. But at that time, there's some not so privileged areas that didn't have power. But now everybody is on the grid and it's putting pressure. But it should have been foreseen. You know, some of the experts predicted at the time. I mean, 2008, we had a problem like similar to this one, but probably not as pronounced as this. But then the economy has expanded even after 2008. So maybe more on bureaucracy, and then the lack of the age infrastructure. Well, we blame it on bureaucracy, I guess.
Betty, could this situation last for as long as 3 years as is being speculated?
I guess Eskom, according to the CEO, Tediso Matona, I guess they're trying to prepare people, not overpromise, you know, more like underpromise and overdeliver. I guess it may not last if measures, you know, spelled out by quite a number of experts that are speaking now. are taken and things are done. Like the Medupi Power Station, which was supposed to start operating by January 2015. It's been delayed for so many reasons, a lot of controversial issues coming up. And now they're saying first half of 2015. If that happens, and a lot, the tariff issue as well, maybe or things like that are looked into. I guess because South Africa produces quite a lot of energy, most of it used domestically, and a percentage exported to the SADC region. It said, according to some old figures, it provides that it generates or produces about 45% of all the energy produced in Africa. That's quite a lot, but it is a huge economy, and the bulk of it is automated. So let's see what happens. The president is delivering the State of the Nation address today, which marks the opening of Parliament, and everybody is watching at 7 o'clock local time to know what he's going to say to the people concerning that, among other issues like his Nkandla and all that. But people want to know what he's going to say regarding the power issue, which is putting the economy under pressure.
Now, Betty, you rightly said that South Africa produces a lot of energy, and if I'm correct, that's 160,000 megawatts, according to the Minister of Power right here in Nigeria. And he's saying we cannot generate that amount. But my question to you is now, how can we draw lessons from South Africa? What is being done there to manage the power situation that we can do, or we can replicate over here?
I don't know if I'm the right person to answer this question.
Well, I think you're the right person because you're Nigerian and you're in South Africa. So I think you're the right person.
It's the kind of attention that is paid to infrastructure regarding this sector of the economy, which actually powers any economy. The kind of attention paid to the infrastructure. So I don't put myself in trouble, but I think Nigeria has to do that. A lot of things are being done. Tariffs are reviewed, but people are not really getting the service. So what is being done regarding policies as well, energy policies, and having like a bigger picture, where do we want the economy to be? So South Africa depends on its power, and I'm sure they're going to do something about it. It is a working economy with their power, but without power, a lot is going to go wrong. I'm sure they will take care of that, and I hope Nigeria takes a look at what it's doing regarding power, because the real economy depends on power.
Well, Betty, thank you so much for speaking with us and telling us about the power situation. We'll definitely reach out to you tomorrow concerning the State of the Union address that you talked about. But thank you so much for giving us a more explicit view on what's happening concerning the blackout in South Africa. Now, finally, on Network Africa, everybody loves a comeback story, including Brazilian Paralympic champion Alan Oliveira, who says he would like to see his arch-rival, Oscar Pistorius, return to racing when he's released from prison. The pair were embroiled in an argument about the length of Oliveira's artificial legs after he beat Pistorius to T44 200 meters gold at London 2012. Pistorius was jailed in 2014 for killing his girlfriend Eva Steenkamp, but could be let out this year. He was handed his sentence for culpable homicide last October, and South Africa's defense team said it's expected that he should serve about 10 months with the remainder under house arrest. Well, we'll definitely see how that goes, but that's it on Network Africa. Many thanks for watching. I'm Cynthia Are.